Help along the way? We've got U.S.-based real human support. File by February 8th. File fearlessly.
Hey, Mom. It's me. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Hellsberg. Just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Sadly, football season is coming to a close, but it's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff. The final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $2,000 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over and football is done. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week. New segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
Hey Royals fans, it's Vern. I'll be broadcasting live from Royals Rally on Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9 a.m. as I sit down with the biggest names in the organization before they head off to spring training. This is your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
I'm having a hard time deciding if it's a good or a bad thing that I woke up yesterday morning and it was 2026 and I went to bed and it was 2015. Can somebody explain that to me? I woke up as a 27, almost 28-year-old man and went to sleep as a 16, 17-year-old. That's where we are in the NFL today. After hours here on 96.5 The Fan, Logan Weber alongside James Howell. And of course, I'm leading off the show talking about our Super Bowl matchup 2 weeks from now as the New England Patriots defeated the Denver Broncos yesterday and the Seahawks in a shootout finished with the win against the Los Angeles Rams. 2 very different football games that we had the pleasure of watching yesterday. You could make the argument that the Patriots-Broncos game was not necessarily a pleasure to watch, but we were all there in front of our TVs in attendance for it anyway. I mean, the game was entertaining from the fact of the weather conditions that they were having to play through, especially in that second half. I mean, the time lapse that CBS did at one point from like, this is what it looked like in the first quarter. This is what it looked like in the second quarter. This is what it looked like with 12 minutes left in the third quarter. This is what it looks like with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. And it went from clear, there's a little bit of snow on the ground, to they're having a hard time just determining where the football is. They don't know what yard marker the football is at. That's how quickly it started to come down in Denver. But frankly, it helped New England, because by the time the weather got really bad, they were up 10-7, and neither offense was able to do much of anything, frankly, before that point, but it was impossible to move the ball after that. I mean, I can't remember if they tied the NFL record or set the NFL record for the most number of field goals missed in an AFC championship game, but it was one of the two. Neither one of these kickers had fun yesterday by any means. Will Lutz even less so, because his team came out on the losing end. And, you know, this is something that I talked about last week of, I feel like there have been so many guys over the years that Patrick Mahomes has been a starting quarterback that people have tried to compare to him, right? Initially, it was Lamar Jackson, because he was the guy that won an MVP after Mahomes did. Sure. He's won a couple of them. Okay, is Lamar a better player than Patrick Mahomes? But Lamar is not that guy in the playoffs, so everybody just ignores, his moniker came and went pretty quickly. Then it was Joe Burrow, because, well, in terms of AFC quarterbacks, which all four of those guys are, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and Jackson, Burrow's the only guy that's beat him among AFC quarterbacks in a playoff setting. Correct. So then it was Joe Burrow for a while, and the whole Burrow head thing, and yada, yada, yada. But injuries, missing the playoffs in 2 consecutive years has killed that conversation. And of course, the one that stuck around the longest was Josh Allen. But I feel like for the most part, people have died off from that conversation, because this was your shot, Josh. You had it. It was right there in front of you. No Mahomes to deal with, no Burrow to deal with, no Lamar Jackson to deal with. Here we go. And absolutely laid an egg. You turned the football over 4 times. Yeah, he did good things outside of that, but you still turned the football over 4 times, and that led to 16 points off turnovers for the Denver Broncos. Now I get the feeling that we're about to start hearing a new name that's thrown around in these circles, and that name is Drake May. But I feel like that conversation needs to stop before it even starts. I'm sorry, Dan Orlovsky had the most disingenuous tweet, or not Dan Orlovsky, actually. I think it might have been Robert Griffin III. Shocker. Surprise, surprise. He said something disingenuous on social media about, like, Drake May just had the greatest, the most difficult trip to a Super Bowl of all time. He's the only quarterback to ever beat 3 top 5 defenses in order to get to a Super Bowl. The Patriots scored 1 touchdown, 1 offensive touchdown in their divisional round and AFC championship games combined. Stop it. Nobody wants to hear that. Drake May has looked pedestrian at best in these playoffs. So trying to say that, oh, he's this great, really? He's this great player because his offense managed to score 10 points and win a football game? I hate to say this because I feel like it's complimenting Broncos fans. If Bo Nix plays in that game yesterday, I think Denver wins. And I'm not saying Bo Nix is a great player, but I'm saying he was better than Jarrett Stidham was yesterday.
For sure. I mean, there was a crucial 4th down where the Broncos went for it. And I think maybe the play call might be different if Bo Nix is in. They might get it if Bo Nix is in. I mean, let's face it, Bo Nix is clearly a better player than Stidham is. So, like, 3 points difference, I'm with you there, bud.
I could not fathom that call. That early in the game, you've got great field position. You've got a backup quarterback in. Just take the points. You go up. I mean, think about it in hindsight. That is a mammoth-sized decision that Sean Payton made, and it blew up in his face. It's a 10-10 football game. If it's not, I mean, if you decide to kick the field goal instead, it's an overtime. The game's wide open from there, and you see what happens. But
yeah, we're leaning too far into analytics with that decision.
yes, I completely agree.
You know, like there's a possibility you could go down and go up 14-0 or whatever, but you also have to understand what the weather's like, that it's going to continue to get worse, and points are going to be far and few in between, you know, and like, take the points.
In a
Don't
game
be
that
dumb.
in a game that everybody knew was going to be low scoring because of the cold, because of the weather conditions that were coming in the second half of that football game. Broncos are dealing with a backup quarterback that's starting in that football game, and two really good defenses. You knew points were going to be at a premium. Why would you consciously make the decision to take points off the board? And it's interesting to me that a decision to go for it on fourth down may have been the biggest determining factor in the outcome of both of these championship games from yesterday. Because you look at it from the perspective of the Los Angeles Rams, where it's a 27-31 football game. You have the ball, it's a fourth down play, and you decide 4th and 4 from the 6-yard line that you're going to go for it. With 5 minutes left in the game, I might add, you're going to go for it. Rather than kick the field goal and make it a 1-point game, well, what happens? You go down, you force a punt, you get the football back, you've got limited time left, certainly 25 seconds, but 25 seconds is more than enough time to draw up 3 plays, get into field goal range, and give Harrison Mevis an opportunity to kick you to a Super Bowl. Instead, you go for it on fourth down. You don't convert. Not a 4th and 1, not a 4th and 2, a 4th and 4. That is firmly a 4th and medium that you are pulling. 5 minutes left in the game, all 3 timeouts. Very good chance you're going to get the football back at least one more time. I couldn't understand that. I really had a hard time fathoming what the Rams' decision was in that football game. But boy, was I happy that the game played out the way that it did after sitting through a snowy, just ho-hum defensive battle in the AFC title game. These two offenses, Rams and Seahawks, were throwing haymakers yesterday. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, the Puka Nacua, 9 for 165. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 10 for 153. Devontae Adams had a couple of catches for over 20 yards in this game. Colby Parkinson even had a 40-yard grab. Rashid Shaheed with his only catch of the game for 51 yards on the first possession the Seahawks had to take an early lead. This game was fun to watch. And I hate that everybody else is acknowledging it now, because I started saying this a month ago before the playoffs even started. I really would like to see Kenneth Walker in a Chiefs uniform. I would love to see him in Andy Reid's offense. I think he would be a perfect fit. He is a 3-down back. The Seattle Seahawks, in my opinion, because they have a guy like have had a guy like Zach Charbonnet, who of course is now out with the ACL injury, they haven't utilized Kenneth Walker, I believe, up to his fullest capabilities. Well, with Charbonnet out, they've had to go to him as a 3-down back, and he's amassed over 100 total yards of offense in each of these 2 games, the divisional round game, the NFC Championship game yesterday. Much of that came in the first half of this one, and then the Rams kind of keyed in on him in the second half, and that's when Sam Darnold did what Sam Darnold has done so far this year, and really the last 2 years between Minnesota and Seattle. I would love to see Kenneth Walker in a Chiefs uniform, but it is going to be much harder than it was a month ago when I made the suggestion, because number one, everybody else has now seen Kenneth Walker as an explosive feature 3-down back at this point. Not to mention Zach Charbonnet with the ACL tear is going to miss a huge chunk of next year as well. So Seattle's going to make him even more of a priority than they possibly would have this offseason had Charbonnet been healthy. Yeah, I'm completely in agreement. 913-586-7965. Somebody in the text line said, you'll never get Walker now that Charbonnet is hurt. I agree, and it sucks because it's going to become somewhat of a bidding war, and I think Seattle, they just got to a Super Bowl. So they are going to be willing and desperate enough, I think, to get back that they would probably overpay somebody like Kenneth Walker if if it came down to it, because you're not going to have Zach Charbonnet for at least the first, I would say, 10 weeks of next season, if not longer than that.
Yeah, I think they almost have to now. Like they have to keep Walker now that Charbonnet is going to miss the majority of next year. I mean, he's almost like an insurance policy.
Yeah, 100%.
And then probably go draft a guy as well. So.
Because now that we've seen this Seattle Seahawks team, on a national stage between the divisional round and the NFC Championship game, it's very evident that the Seattle Seahawks are at their best when they have a balanced, complementary offense, when they can lean on the running game at times, utilize the play action, and open things up. I mean, Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba feasted against the Rams defense yesterday in play action situations. And so if you let Kenneth Walker go, the backup running back that they went to last night, was it Halani maybe that they had at a couple of times, or maybe he's the fullback. I don't know who. I think Halani's the third string, quote unquote, running back. He wasn't incredibly effective. So for the Seahawks' own sake, they're going to need to have Kenneth Walker back. Somebody in the text line 620 says, LOL, you think Andy would utilize a running back? If they had talent, yeah, I still believe that. I have to. I mean, he utilized Brian Westbrook in Philly when Brian Westbrook was one of the better backs in the league. Look at what he did with LaShawn McCoy in Philadelphia. And then he comes to Kansas City and he utilized Jamal Charles.
Yeah.
Lest we all forget that a rookie Kareem Hunt led the National Football League in rushing and was well on his way to a 2,000-yard total offense season the next year before, of course, everything happened off the field. I think Andy will use the running game if he's got a running back or running backs at his disposal that he believes can make a gigantic, a big enough impact on the game. It's just in the last 5 years, really, since Kareem Hunt was let go, and you saw, that maybe that 2018-19 season with Darrell and Damian Williams and guys like that, they haven't really had somebody make a true impact. You drafted Clyde in the first round. It didn't work. You then settled on a 7th-round rookie in Isaiah Pacheco, who looked solid his rookie year, but teams got film on him. He got hurt. He started to run differently. It just hasn't worked. You've started to more or less recycle out guys. I mean, like bringing Kareem Hunt back over and over again. Carson Steele, a guy who I believe he's a fullback in this league, but they've tried to utilize him as a running back. Drafting Brashard Smith, a converted wide receiver, again in the 7th round. They've put no capital into the running back position. So it's hard to anticipate or expect Andy to use the running back. Put some capital into that position group and then see what he can do with it. I think Kenneth Walker is a tremendous fit. Kenneth Walker is a guy in this offense that could have a 1,500-yard total offense kind of a season. He's a guy that I think could rush for 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards, and catch for another 400 or 500 yards through the air. I absolutely believe Andy will utilize a running back if this team will sort of put their money where their mouths are a little bit and go get one. Get a viable running back, a 3-down guy that can make an impact.
Yeah.
They haven't done that in the last half decade.
Put some legitimate investment into the running back position. Not a 7th round, and I know Clyde didn't work out, but that doesn't mean you just give up. Go out there and go get somebody. I personally like Tyler Algier. I think he would be a great fit for Kansas City. But we have to get somebody. And I do think that once we do get a running back that is worth a darn, And I know a lot of people like Pacheco, but look, Pacheco's not the guy.
No.
He's not him. So once we go get a guy, I think that Andy will use him.
I completely agree with you. 913-586-7965 is our number. So Seahawks beat the Rams. Pats beat the Broncos. Let's talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. We've got a whole 12 days, 13 days until Super Bowl Sunday. But just on the surface, day after reactions, let's give our thoughts on this matchup between these two football teams. I think it could be a very exciting Super Bowl that we will get to see in early February. Logan Weber alongside James Howell. You're listening to After Hours here on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5 The Fan.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. For January, after the holidays, we're offering to auger your main line or branch line for only $99 per hour. That's $100 off this month only. This also includes a camera inspection with mainline work. Don't start 2026 with things backing up. So call Connolly Plumbing Solutions at 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Dane and Hughes here, and it's playoff time, and there's no better place to bet the chase for the championship than Circa Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be. Whether you're betting championship or conference futures, sides, totals, or prop bets for every round, there's no better place to make your bets throughout January all the way to the big game. Circa Sports, with high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the Game of the Week report, brought to you by Hyundai.
Pro Hockey heads outdoors on Monday night for the Boston and Tampa matchup, taking place in a Florida football stadium for the first time ever. This is the hockey event to watch this week. Both strong franchises with lots of playoff history will face off at 6:30 p.m. Monday night in front of a stadium full of fans for this unique game.
The Game of the Week report is brought to you by the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Learn how it's so much more than just another SUV at HyundaiUSA.com.
This isn't just how you get there, it's how you arrive. Whatever the day brings, make it epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. A sleek exterior, premium interior, and class-leading space for up to 8 with available third-row power seats that recline to give you room to live big. Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562 text to 314-4603 for more details.
Tonight, conditions will be clear with a low of 14.
Weather brought to you by Staples. 2026 is here, and at Staples, deals mean business. Like up to $100 off custom print orders. Head into the new year looking good for less. Staples. That was easy. Ends 131.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and on behalf of everyone here, I want to thank you for listening to another season of Chiefs football right here on 96.5 The Fan. Although the season didn't go as planned, we saw record listenership these last 6 months, and that's all thanks to our listeners and Chiefs Kingdom. Our coverage will not change these next couple of months as we get you ready for a busy offseason starting with the Combine, free agency, and the NFL Draft. Stay up to date with us on YouTube, Instagram, the Odyssey app, or right there in your car. This is your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, we have our matchup, Super Bowl LX in Santa Clara. Both of these teams, Seahawks, Patriots, hey, be on the lookout for that electrical whatchamacallit thing that's over there near the facility. I don't even know what. Apparently, they're like, the 49ers are doing like an investigation into the amount of injuries that have happened to them in the last 4 or 5 years. And they're actually, that's a part of their investigation. We're looking into everything, including this electrical power plant that is near their facility that some people, some conspiracy theorists are saying is having something to do with why they're having all these injuries. But God, there are a lot, dude. It is wild the number of injuries the 49ers have had. Despite all that, here's a matchup, Seattle against New England. This is not a Super Bowl matchup I had coming into the year. I will be completely honest, okay? Before the season started, my Super Bowl prediction was Chiefs-Lions. Neither one of those teams even made the playoffs. And then from about week 5 through the end of this regular season, I thought the Rams were the best team in football. I really liked what Los Angeles was doing all year. I love Matthew Stafford in the season that he had at age 38, was just remarkable. And we'll talk a little bit about Matthew Stafford and maybe some of these NFL honors predictions that'll be coming out in the next couple of weeks as well. But I said at the beginning of the show, like, I woke up yesterday morning and it was 2026, and I went to bed and it was 2015 somehow. Patriots-Seahawks is a rematch of that game we saw, a little over a decade ago now that, of course, ended with the infamous throwing the ball on the goal line when you have Marshawn Lynch in the backfield, the Malcolm Butler interception, the Patriots and Tom Brady win yet another Super Bowl. And, I feel like it would be worthwhile to take a little trip down memory lane. Our text line, 913-586-7965. James, I understand that you've got a little bit of a time capsule of some of the news and notes from the year 2015 to share with us.
Sure. Yeah, no, I was just curious. We started the show talking about how we woke up in 2015. So I jumped on here and I was like, okay, what was the top song in 2015? We're looking at Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. And then who was it? Mark Ronson? Yeah, Mark Ronson. Then to top it off, we had shows like Better Call Saul, Empire, Game of Thrones. These were all top shows in 2015.
Game of Thrones, dude. Mm-hmm. Fed families in those years. Until the last season, which was a disaster.
Right. Some of the trends that we had going on in 2015, we had the rise of bomber jackets, denim on denim.
Oh, yeah. Jean jackets made their comeback that year. That's right.
Absolutely. 3D printing started to really grow. Netflix and chill, the term Netflix and chill, or the euphemism, really started to grab.
Oh, that's fair.
Some traction.
I don't really know much about it. I was in high school at that point.
Let's see. 2015, Katy Perry was the halftime. Halftime performer.
That's right.
In that Super Bowl. So, yeah.
Just another Super Bowl that everybody freaked out about. I feel like everybody, there's always every year, people are just up in arms about the halftime show. I thought Kendrick's Super Bowl halftime show last year was fantastic.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was absolutely outstanding.
Who we got this year? Bad
Bunny.
Right? I look forward to it.
I am too, man.
You know?
Listen, I don't speak a lick of Spanish, but I listen to Bad Bunny regularly. Don't understand anything he's saying.
No.
The music's catchy, man. He's got great beat. His cadence is so good.
Rhythm,
it's so good, man.
Groovy, yeah.
I love it. I absolutely
I look
do.
forward to it, man. I just love music in general. It don't matter to me. It could be Prince. It could be Katy Perry, Kendrick Lamar. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna enjoy the show.
I can't remember what they announced. Green Day's performing something or other at the Super Bowl. I don't know exactly what it is.
That'll be cool too,
dude. I grew up listening to Green Day.
Yeah.
I grew up with a dad who was a massive Green Day fan, and so I grew up listening to that music. Like Boulevard of Broken Dreams is one of my favorite songs that I've ever listened to. 21 Guns came out like when I was in middle school, roughly like 2009, 2010. So that was like when I first got like an MP3 player, like the first iPod I ever had, like 21 Guns was one of the first songs on there. Good Riddance is so good. I'm a huge Green Day fan, so I'm excited. I don't know exactly when or where they're performing with this Super Bowl, but I'm all in. Man, that's absurd. It doesn't feel like that long ago. Like 2015, I was in high school. Like February of 2015 was my junior year of high school. I hadn't quite turned 17 yet. And I can, thinking back a decade ago now, I wouldn't have imagined what the next 10 years of my life would have been like.
I hear you.
I want to go back to 2015 and tell that kid watching a Patriots-Seahawks Super Bowl, hey, just you wait. You're going to get to watch the Chiefs compete in 5 of these over the next 10 years.
And you wouldn't believe yourself?
No, 17-year-old me would have laughed me out of the room.
Nope. Yeah, I got a 10-year-old son. He was born in 2016.
Oh, spoiled. Spoiled, that guy. This Chiefs fandom, he knows nothing but success, man.
Yeah, he believes it with all his heart that they're the best. That no one can beat them.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. We went through so much heartache, and I'm not sure how old you are. I think I've got a few years on you.
I'm 27. I'll turn 28 here at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Or at the end of next month, about a month from now, actually.
But yeah, we went through a ton of heartache just to get to the point, where we're at now. So it was rough, but we get to live these glory days now.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, just think about it for a moment, okay? How 50 years, half a century, Chiefs fans went without watching their team in a Super Bowl, let alone win one. I mean, listen, I'm just going to throw some names out at you, okay? Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama. Was that six U.S. presidents without a Super Bowl in there. And Richard Nixon barely made the cut because the Chiefs won that Super Bowl in 1970, right after he was inaugurated as the 37th president. From Gerald Ford to Barack Obama, the Chiefs never saw a Super Bowl. That's an incredibly long time. And most of those guys served 2 terms, 8 years as president of the United States. We still didn't get a chance to see it. Wild, dude. Yeah, like there's something, like I substitute teach a little bit.
Okay.
That's sort of like my day job sometimes. And it's wild to me, like when I'm in a middle school classroom and I'm talking to kids that are like 12 or 13 years old. And I'm trying to they ask me a question about something and I'm trying to explain it to them. And they're like, how old are you? Like, I'm 27. I'm almost 28. I'm like, what year were you born? Like 1998. And they're like, I was born in 2013. And I'm like, oh my God. I was in high school. What do you mean?
I was out of high school.
I walk into some of these classrooms and they've got like on the board in their room, like the class of whatever year.
Yeah.
I walk into a 6th grade classroom and it's the class of 2031, and I'm like, my back tightened just reading it. I was like, I cannot believe this. Kids will call me Unc in class. It's just demoralizing. Absolutely demoralizing. 913-586-7965. Somebody in the text line says, I grew up hating the Seahawks because they were in the division with the Chiefs. Yeah, carried over and still hate them and their fans. But in the future, I'm going to root for them because I can't accept the Pats already winning a Super Bowl this soon after Tom Brady. Yeah. It doesn't feel right. Yeah. Like, this feels like the universe shouldn't allow it to happen. You don't get to be the team in the National Football League for 20 years with Tom Brady at the helm, be mediocre for 5 years, and then win another Super Bowl. It shouldn't be allowed. Absolutely should not happen. But here we are. I don't know. Personally, looking at it, sort of on the surface, day after the AFC and NFC championship games, and it's really hard to judge what the Patriots looked like in that game yesterday because of the conditions, because of the snow, and all the other things they were having to deal with. I think Seattle's the better team. I mean, the Rams were a better offense than what the Patriots have, and I know they gave up 27 to that Rams offense yesterday, but that's a team that they had already played twice. It's really hard, both sides of the for both teams to game plan for somebody to play them a third time in a sport like football. And so for Seattle, come away with the win in the first place was really impressive. I don't see the Patriots being able to put 27 on that Seahawks defense. I don't. And it's really going to come down to which of these quarterbacks can be more in the moment than the other. Which one doesn't let the lights get too bright? Because that's been the last 2 years, right? Prior to yesterday's game, that was the biggest knock on Sam Darnold. Last year, that Vikings team, they were 14-2, 15-1 going into that last game of the regular season against the Lions. Winner gets the 1 seed in the first round bye, and he looked awful. And then they go into the next game playing the Rams, and he looked terrible again. And it was like, wow, Sam Darnold looked fantastic for 17 weeks. And then the last last game of the regular season, the wild card game, he absolutely fell apart. He looked like the guy that got mono and was seeing ghosts in New York again. Yeah.
But what he did get was good experience.
Absolutely.
High pressure experience. And I think that's why we're seeing him excel in this moment.
I completely agree. And so can he continue to rise to the occasion the way that he did in that game yesterday in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of his life, but in his defense, he's got more experience, at least just overall, right? Neither of these guys has experienced a Super Bowl by any stretch of the imagination, but he's been in more playoff games. He's been in more big games. He's started more games in this league. He's a more veteran player. So can a guy in Drake May in his second year with a Patriots team that is probably a year or two ahead of schedule right now, able to rise to the moment, rise to the occasion, and get the job done? As good as Drake May was in the regular season, he has not impressed me in these playoffs. Even excluding yesterday's game, I roll with Sam Darnold a little bit more in this. On the surface today, I would go with the Seahawks to win this football game.
I'm right there with you. I think that the Seahawks win by multiple possessions. I think it is that lopsided. I have no faith in Drake May. I hate the Patriots.
Yeah, fair.
And maybe that's playing into my decision. Yeah, I've got the Seahawks by multiple scores.
Yeah, watching the Broncos the last 2 weeks has been awful. Just watching, wanting both teams to lose.
Nauseating.
Like, Bills-Broncos is like, hey, can we just call this one a forfeit? Can we just take somebody from the wild card and throw them in? And then watching Patriots-Broncos yesterday, it's like, again, can both teams lose? Just terrible. 913-586-7965 is our number. More coming up. We don't have any guests booked for tonight's show, so it's just us here on After Hours. Logan Weber alongside James Howell here on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff. The final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel's making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or you're building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football is officially done. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbooks, the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Midwest, winter 2026, Airman. Say, how's that utility bill? Even your level payment plan seems like it's tilting uphill? But wait, Airman here with some good news to re-level the playing field. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is now offering up to $1,400 in rebates on qualifying Lennox home comfort systems. But hold on, there's more. Midwest is also stepping up with 60 months 0% financing with approved credit. And the newest Lennox systems produce air that is more pure, run quieter, and are significantly more efficient. So much so that your new lower utility bill will seem like a late Christmas present. $1,400 rebate and 60 months at 0%. Now that's more like it. Go to MidwestHeating.com or dial 943-8787 for details. And as so many of your neighbors have for the past 7 decades, trust your air to the best. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where we're all about you. Your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. We'll take total care of you. First, come browse all the beautiful settings in our cases. Take your time and try on as many as you want. You'll know when you put your ring on. Your heart will skip a beat. Now, onto your center stone. We can look at different diamond shapes and sizes until we find the perfect match. Come visit us in store, because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Listen to these names really quickly. First things first. James, my producer, he's the one that pointed this out to me. So shout out James Howell. Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold. Josh Allen. Josh Rosen. That's a name for you. Lamar Jackson. Mason Rudolph. What do these guys all have in common? They were all quarterbacks drafted in the 2018 NFL draft. of all those names, what does everybody but Sam Darnold have in common? They've never been to a Super Bowl. I mean, that's absurd. I had no idea about that until you brought it up during the break. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen. Obviously, you got to throw Josh Rosen's name in there. He was, I'm gonna keep track of the 9 guys picked ahead of me, and 3 years later, he was out of football. And Lamar Jackson and Mason Rudolph. That's 6 quarterbacks I just mentioned, including Lamar and Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield, and Sam Darnold is the first one to go to a Super Bowl.
It's insane. I mean, we're talking about Lamar Jackson, who's gotten multiple MVPs. Josh Allen is in the MVP talk every single year. Baker Mayfield earlier in the year was, once again, MVP talk. It's Sam Darnold.
On his 5th NFL team, I might add, right? Lamar Jackson's been with Baltimore his entire career. They've had great teams. Never got to the big one. Josh Allen has been with Buffalo his entire career. They've had some really good teams. Never been able to get to the big one. And it's Sam Darnold that's getting himself 60 minutes from hoisting a Lombardi trophy. And if they win this football game, a very high likelihood that he's going to walk away with the Super Bowl MVP too. Because in the last 20 years, the Super Bowl MVP has generally gone to the quarterback of the winning team.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they're not as deserving of a certain award, right?
Yeah, that's some tortoise in the hair stuff right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, 3rd overall pick back in 2018 by the New York Jets. There was the mono thing. There was the seeing ghosts. The Jets let him go. He ends up with the Carolina Panthers, where he's a glorified backup alongside Baker Mayfield, I might add, who was running like reps at scout team defensive end on that team. And somehow the Panthers said, no, we're gonna settle on Bryce Young. Okay. Then he goes to the Niners for a year. Then the Vikings last season.
I forgot about the Niners.
Yeah, he was the backup in San Francisco for Brock Purdy. I think that Mac Jones is probably trying to take a similar page out of that playbook and get himself into a position to kind of have a second career in the National Football League. And here we are, man, back-to-back years with a Pro Bowl selection. I mean, it's really fascinating to see how his career has shifted onto itself.
Yeah, it's amazing, really. I'm not a Sam Darnold fan by any means, but I am a fan of success stories. And for him to just keep grinding it out, man, he went through some stuff. It was bad for quite a while, but, man, he never gave up. Just kept grinding it out. And look at him, man. I'm a big fan of success stories. That's all I could say about it.
Yeah, it's a really cool story. Him and Baker both, I mean.
Oh, I just got a Baker Mayfield jersey for Christmas.
Oh, that's sick. I mean, for his sake, I know that we're sort of giving him a hard time because he's a part of this draft class with Allen and Lamar and Darnold, and Sam Darnold's the one to get to a Super Bowl, which nobody would have predicted 5 years ago. But I mean, he was completely written off, I mean, he's in Cleveland and he did some good things, but the team just wasn't successful. He ended up having, he faltered a little bit towards the end of his time there in Cleveland. His last year, the 17 touchdowns to 13 picks. Apparently, now that Kevin Stefanski's been fired by the Cleveland Browns, there's been some back and forth between the two. I mean, Baker took to social media and said some things about how Stefanski treated him with the Browns. He goes to Carolina, and then he's the backup for Matthew Stafford in Los Angeles. Tampa Bay for the last 3 years, where he has thrown for 95 touchdowns and 12,000 yards to just 37 picks. In 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns a season, he's averaging right now in Tampa Bay, while averaging just over 12 picks a season.
Yeah, and look, man, I'm an Oklahoma guy. I'm a Boomer Sooner fan, and I ride or die with the Sooners. And ever since Baker came into the league, I've been tracking him, and I've been watching him, and he's never really blossomed. Now, Cleveland Browns, they're a terrible organization, and the same with the Jets, so there's a couple parallels there. But I was so glad to see him get out of there. get on to the Tampa Bay squad, which I think he meshes really well. He vibes with his squad. They're building around him, surrounding him with talent, and I think he's going to have the next couple years are going to be very successful for Baker.
Yeah, especially, and not to say it like in an undermining way, but they play in a bad division.
That's true.
It's probably the worst division in football down there in the NFC South. The Panthers are, they're rising. They're a young roster with a ton of talent, but I don't trust Bryce Young as far as I can throw him. The Saints, I think they got their guy in Elliott Shuck, but we'll see if they can surround him with pieces. I know there's a lot of talk right now of Jeremiah Love getting picked by New Orleans, try to give him somebody in the backfield to pair with. And so we'll have to see. I don't know. I think that Tampa Bay is going to be the best team in that division, top to bottom, for a couple more years at least. Can they use that to manufacture a Super Bowl berth? That remains to be seen. 913-586-7965 is our number. Sam Darnold heading to the Super Bowl, the first quarterback in the 2018 class to do it. He's been named to back-to-back Pro Bowls. But guess what? As if the Pro Bowl couldn't have had less respect by football fans around the world, it just got less respect from football fans around the world. We'll discuss that next here on After Hours. Logan Weber alongside James Howell, 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
This is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid of Rob Seid Ford. Fresh off a record-breaking year and a successful run at Ford's 2025 Top Volume Award. Rob, how did you do it?
Kevin, it's simple. We pulled out all the stops on price, on trade values, on inventory, and made sure our customers got an experience they couldn't find anywhere else.
Well, the race isn't over. 2026 is here, and you're back in the chase again.
That's right, and we're going even harder this year. More inventory, more aggressive trade-in values, and a buying experience other dealers just can't match.
Well, you're not just talking, you've got the receipts. Kansas City's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in Kansas City by KC Magazine.
The recognition matters, but what actually matters is how you feel when you call or visit Rob Seid Ford.
Inventory, value, transparency, and no pressure. That's why people keep coming back.
Come see us at 135th and State Line or visit us online at robsight.com.
Rob Seid Ford. Buy right. Drive happy.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me!
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker.
Yes.
Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
Oh!
There's never been anything like this.
Let's go. UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, I'll get on my soapbox for a few minutes here in just a bit, but I want to correct myself. I thought I said it at the time, but I was like, nah, there's no way. Until somebody in the text line said the Saints quarterback is who? I'm pretty sure I referred to him as Elliott Shuck. His name is Tyler Shuck. No idea. I could not tell you where in the deep recesses of my brain the name Elliott came from. Or like, is Elliott Shuck a name from something that I'm unfamiliar? I have no idea. Tyler Shuck is who I was talking about. I apologize for saying the name incorrectly. Now to the soapbox. Let me get on it very quickly. Nobody gives a damn about the Pro Bowl anymore, right? I mean, it's a flag football game with a bunch of like weird mini games that they play on top of it. There's a dodgeball thing and like a long snapping. Like the long snapping thing's one of the more entertaining things they do for the Pro Bowl anymore. But I'm sorry.
I don't think I've watched the Pro Bowl since it left Hawaii.
Well, you know, if the NFL had any inclination whatsoever that people were going to tune in more to watch it this year, that's completely gone now, okay? According to ESPN, sources say that Drake May, who was a Pro Bowl selection, is not going to be participating, obviously, because the Pro Bowl is now before the Super Bowl, which he's not going to do both. I wish that they would change that. I think that would be a huge benefit, is to make the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl again, like it used to be. I digress. Who has been tabbed to replace Drake May, you might ask? Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is in the Pro Bowl. What? And listen, I'm not one of these people that is hating on Shedeur Sanders all the time. I'm not like that. I think he's got some serious growing up to do. I think he's got a ton of talent. I was surprised he fell that far in the NFL draft. I think Cleveland should have started him sooner. But I'm sorry, you cannot look me in the face and tell me that a guy who started 7 football games, went 3-4, threw 7 touchdowns to 10 picks, deserves to be a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah, why doesn't the NFL just come out and say it's a popularity contest? It's no longer, because the Pro Bowl used to be the best of the best, the best AFC squad that you could get against the best NFC squad. And I mean, it used to be so exciting. Now it's a popularity contest.
Yeah, and I mean, not to come to the NFL's defense necessarily in this situation, but among the other candidates that they could have gone to as alternates for the Pro Bowl, you had Patrick Mahomes. Well, he's tore his ACL, so he's not able to compete. Daniel Jones with the Achilles tear, not able to compete. Bo Nix with the fractured ankle, not able to compete. They offered, apparently, Trevor Lawrence, because he was one of the top alternate selections, but Lawrence opted not to participate in the event. Okay. That's understandable. If that's all, I mean, if you had no other options in the AFC, then you go to Shedeur Sanders, but why not Aaron Rodgers? Hey, here's a rookie quarterback that you could have gone to by the name of Cam Ward, who played a better season. Why not offer it to Cam Ward? CJ Stroud was awful in the postseason, But 19 touchdowns to 8 picks in the regular season. Why not offer it to him? Lamar Jackson, despite the injuries, 21 touchdowns to 7 picks. He had another, several more touchdowns on the ground. What about him? Joe Burrow played in the same number of games that Shedeur Sanders did. He threw for 400 more yards, 10 more touchdowns, and 5 less picks. You're telling me nobody else wanted to do it? Nobody. Nobody at all. No, we're settling on Shedeur Sanders. Okay.
I think it's really about the ratings, buddy. I think it's about ratings and getting eyeballs on the TV.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I already wasn't going to watch the Pro Bowl. Now I'm definitely not going to watch it. So maybe it's the Shedeur Sanders people, the guys people that are bigger fans of him that are now going to be more inclined to watch the Pro Bowl than they were before. But I highly doubt it. The Pro Bowl is not worthy of my time, or anybody else's for that matter. 913-586-7965 is our number. We got some messages in the text line I want to take a look at regarding, we were talking earlier about Sam Darnold and going from an a run out of New York with the Jets to an afterthought in Carolina, an afterthought in San Francisco, to now a quarterback that will be starting in a Super Bowl. And I got an interesting question that I think we could dive into a little bit more in regards to guys that could have similar opportunities across the National Football League now. That's next. Logan Weber alongside James Howell. You're listening to After Hours here on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me.
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker. Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
There's never been anything like this.
UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
I love spending time outside at our house, but I noticed some paint was starting to peel. So I called CertaPro Painters to give us a fresh touch-up. We use CertaPro Painters inside and out at our place, and you should do the same. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. So schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, CertaPro.com. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
there's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues with UFC 325 live from Australia. Catch featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski in a rematch of his epic title fight against Diego Lopez, and the always dangerous Dan Hooker throws down with dynamic finisher Benoit Saint Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown. UFC fans, pay-per-view just got knocked out. Catch UFC 325 on Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus. Stream every fight live with one subscription. Visit ParamountPlus.com/UFC to get started.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
You're listening to After Hours here on 96.5 The Fan. Logan Weber alongside James Howell. Your home for Kansas City sports. If you missed the first hour of our program here tonight, you can go listen to it on the Odyssey app. Just search up 96.5 The Fan. You'll find After Hours from there. You can listen to any hour of our past programs or other shows if you'd like to. You missed something from the drive. You want to hear what CDOT thinks of the Super Bowl matchup between the Seahawks and the Patriots. You can find it on the Odyssey app or on Odyssey.com. Earlier in the show, I was asked a question in the text line that I kind of want to take some time to discuss now. It's a 913 says, we have seen it now with Baker and some others, and now Darnold, the most successful. Do you think this will make organizations rethink giving up on quarterbacks that may have just been a bad fit for another organization? And the short answer is yes. Do I think that every quarterback is going to get a second chance? No, I don't. You know, there are certain guys that I think have more or less worn out their share of chances at this point, right? I look at like the 2020 draft class, and I think about a player like a Tua. I'm not sure Tua gets a chance to be a starting quarterback if he doesn't have another solid year, if he doesn't bounce back and have a solid year in Miami. I think it's pretty much over for Tua at that point. But I go into other draft classes, and there's a couple of guys that come to my mind first. The first might be Zach Wilson. Former second overall pick, shares something in common with Sam Darnold in that he was drafted by the New York Jets. It doesn't necessarily help Zach Wilson's case, however, that he was with the Dolphins last year. They benched Tua Tagovailoa, and they went to Quinn Ewers instead. So that doesn't necessarily give me a ton of confidence that Zach Wilson will get another shot. But you go into some of these earlier draft classes, these guys that have been in the league for a couple of years now, right? And I mean, a guy like Kenny Pickett, I don't see him getting a chance to be a top flight starting quarterback in this league again. One guy that I think might get another shot somewhere, like a legitimate shot to be a starting quarterback again. Number one, and these guys, it's fun. Interestingly enough, I think both of these guys are in the same draft class. Okay. One of them is going to probably get a shot this year with the team that drafted him because of the injury. Anthony Richardson. I think he gets another shot in Indianapolis. Sure. They'll probably give Daniel Jones an extension to keep him around. I mean, they already have, but I think that because of the Achilles tear, obviously they're going to have to roll with Anthony Richardson again. The other is Will Levis. I mean, Will Levis has, similarly to Sam Darnold early in his career with the Jets, decision-making lapses were the biggest problem for him. Tennessee was a dumpster fire. That's evident. The guy that drafted him got fired halfway through this season. So maybe he gets another chance with a different organization because they're more than comfortable rolling with Cam Ward right now. Who's to say Will Levis doesn't get a shot somewhere? Who's to say after next year, if the Dolphins decide that they're going to move on from Tua, take a flyer on a Will Levis. Try to give him a second opportunity at a career. See what you can make of it.
Sure, absolutely. And to the texter's point, I think that cases like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are going to contribute to some of these guys getting their second shot. The leashes are going to be a little bit longer out there. Owners and coaches are now starting to realize that some of these guys take time to develop. They really do. And maybe it's just you need a change of scenery, but maybe you need to mature a little bit too and grow within the system and grow into the NFL. And sometimes it just takes time. And I think that's what we're seeing with some of these other guys. Like Baker Mayfield, yeah, he got out of a bad organization, and that's why I think that he's blossomed. Same with Sam Darnold. But in both cases, I think they've developed and now are in their primes several years after they were drafted.
Yeah, it just goes back to, I think, us collectively as a society in all things, but sports is one of the prime examples of that now. This sense of like immediacy that we expect, right? Of you watch a 22, 23-year-old Patrick Mahomes in year 2 throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns and win an MVP and take his team to an AFC championship game. And you watch a second, third-year player in Lamar Jackson go win an MVP and have tremendous success. A third-year quarterback in Joe Burrow leading his team to a Super Bowl against the Rams. You know, we see this all over the place. And it's not just the quarterback position. I mean, wide receivers nowadays are coming into the league and immediately making statements. I mean, you watched a pair of second-year guys in, you know, maybe Puka's in his third year. But watching Puka and Jackson Smith and Jigba play last night, it was like, these guys are still in their early 20s. Yeah. And they're playing like top 5 receivers in this league, you know? Justin Jefferson came in and was the best receiver in football by the end of his rookie year. Jamar Chase has been right up there since he entered the league. Malik Neighbors last year came in and busted down the doors for the New York Giants offense. So I understand some people's like this incessant need to pull somebody when they don't have immediate success, but we're forgetting about the fact that in a lot of these cases, like Sam Darnold is one of those examples. He was 20 when he was drafted. I mean, like he was a young kid, one of the youngest quarterbacks ever drafted. And when he wasn't highly successful by age 22, everybody's like, nope, he's done. Get rid of him. You know, it's over for him. And some guys most guys don't come back from that. I mean, this guy in that same draft class in Josh Rosen, he was out of the league by 25. Gone completely for somebody who was an outstanding player in college at UCLA. So, yeah, I think that if you can find that immediate success, that's obviously what you're always looking for. But that's not always what's going to happen, and I don't believe that it's the right course of action to just rid that guy from your organization or from the sport entirely, because it might just take him a little bit more seasoning to get it figured out. And we're seeing that with Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield right now. Somebody in the text line brought up Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones may very well get an opportunity to start somewhere next year with how he performed with San Francisco. Malik Willis is another name. He is going to be a hot commodity in free agency at the quarterback position for somebody that wants to find like a bridge quarterback or somebody that they can bring in that will push a young guy for the starting quarterback position somewhere. I absolutely agree with some of those names that are being thrown around.
I also want to bring this up that I know people have this desire for instant gratification, but quarterback is different than wide receiver or running back. It is a much more difficult position to play. It is probably the most difficult position to play in all of the major sports here in North America.
I would tend to agree.
So, I mean, give these guys, I don't know why we're not. Give them some time. Let them develop a little bit. Learn, and grow into a better football player.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback position in football, it's not the most physically demanding, right? In terms of like what's the most difficult thing to do in sports physically, I would have to imagine it's hitting a baseball.
Sure.
I mean, there's nothing I've done in sports that's more difficult than hitting a baseball. But it's the mental side of being a quarterback, of memorizing an entire playbook, memorizing the audibles and the checks and the blitz pickups and the pass protections, all these other things. I mean, just the mental fortitude, the mental acuity that it takes to play the quarterback position. And I think that far too often we jump the gun on guys too. I mean, imagine, again, speaking purely in hypotheticals, this didn't happen. It wouldn't have happened. But let's just think for a moment, right? Because we've heard Patrick Mahomes talk about this. We've heard Alex Smith talk about this, that when Patrick showed up in Kansas City, he didn't know how to watch film effectively. He didn't know how to take notes effectively, how to go through meetings, how to game prep at the level it takes in professional football. He got a whole year to learn how to do that from one of the best in football at the time in Alex Smith. He got to learn about what it took to physically and mentally prepare yourself to be a starting quarterback in professional football. So many of these guys that we see wash out never got that chance. I mean, Sam Darnold was the starting quarterback in New York from the jump. Zach Wilson was the starting quarterback in New York from the jump.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Will Levis never had that shot with the Tennessee Titans because they were awful. He had nobody around him to help him in any way, shape, or form. From, other quarterbacks in the room to weapons that he could utilize to coaches on the staff to front office personnel. He was in a disastrous situation from the minute he arrived in Tennessee. So I just think that there are some guys in this league that deserve opportunities in better systems for them to see if it works. I'm not saying that it's going to, but I feel like we're going to see more of those opportunities come forth because of the success that we're seeing across this league with guys like Baker Mayfield and now Sam Darnold, the ultimate pinnacle of that mindset. The guy's, he's 28 years old. 28 years old. He's been on 5 NFL teams in 8 years. He's going to a Super Bowl. When many people, after he was let go by the Jets in 2020, thought his career was dead to rights. Absolutely insane. Somebody in the text, I got a 918. I should get a shout out because last Friday I told you that McCarthy to the Steelers and you wasn't sure, but I was correct. You were correct. You were right. I thought better of the Pittsburgh Steelers than I should have. If Drew Bledsoe never got hurt, Tom Brady could have been in a situation like this. Very well could have.
That's a great point.
But Brady, very similar to Mahomes, Brady got a chance to sit behind Bledsoe, learn what it took to be a professional. Without that opportunity, where's Tom Brady at? I think league-wide there should be a lot stronger. There should be a more thought-out process for how to nurture along these young potential franchise quarterbacks. There are so many times you see a guy get thrown out week 1, day 1, and they flame out because they just don't know what it. They don't know what it takes, man.
Yeah, and too often that's the sad truth of the NFL. That's just the way it's set up. The worst teams in the league, they get the number 1 draft picks. And so, I could definitely see some of these other quarterbacks, Mac Jones, I really like that one, getting second shots because, the Jets suck. The Browns suck. In the organization, the Titans, their organizations, they're terrible.
Yeah,
And-
good work, Tennessee. Yeah, Mike Vrabel was the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right after he took you to an AFC championship. Yeah. Okay.
Let's fire this guy. Ah, he can't hack it. He can't get it done, you know. He can get us close, but he can't get us over the hump. He'll never be successful in his next job. Takes the Patriots to the Super Bowl in year one.
Yeah. They're clueless, man. And these organizations, some of these organizations are absolutely clueless. And I do feel bad for some of these young QBs that come into the league, fail because they never really had a shot to begin with. And then they just kind of flame out, like you were saying.
I have a legitimate fear of that with Cam Ward right now in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think Cam Ward is an outstanding talent. I think he is a phenomenal football player. I was a strong advocate for him to be the number 1 overall pick in last year's draft. They fired his head coach halfway through his rookie year. They brought in an interim, and now you've hired Robert Saleh, a guy I think can be a solid head coach. But he has got a tall task in front of him of hiring an offensive mind, an offensive coordinator, or even a quarterback's coach that can help nurture a young, talented guy like Cam Ward. And if you can't do that, Cam Ward is another one of the guys that we will be discussing of should he get another chance somewhere else? Because in my view, he absolutely should. Great teams let quarterbacks learn. Terrible teams make young QBs play too soon. A lot of the time, yeah, you're exactly right. That comes from a 918 in the text line. There are exceptions to the rules, certainly. You know, Josh Allen was immediately the guy in Buffalo, and that worked out for him. Joe Burrow was immediately the guy in Cincinnati, and that worked out for them. But that doesn't seem to be happening a whole lot in this league nowadays. You know, I mean, Lamar Jackson didn't start until the back half of his rookie year with the Baltimore Ravens. He sat behind Flacco. Jalen Hurts sat behind Carson Wentz for a little while and Nick Foles for a little while there in Philadelphia. And it made them better for it. I mean, look across the league at the best quarterbacks in football right now. Most of these guys sat and watched others do, whether by, you know, youth or by lack of opportunity on the field. Here's another guy talking about Darnold and Baker Mayfield. What about Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
He was done after his time with the Giants. Everybody thought he was done. That man was in the MVP race at the midway point of this year. The Colts were, 9-1 at one point this year, and then the injuries, and it fell apart for him.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just takes people time sometimes.
On the opposite side of that coin, here on the text line from the 816, it says this situation also gets guys like Matt Castle and Jimmy G paid. And that I could see that being true as well. And we dealt with that here in Kansas City. Matt Castle had a fantastic season when he came in after Tom Brady got injured. We pick him up here in Kansas City thinking that he's the guy, and it didn't work out.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's 100% true, too.
It goes both right. Both sides cut. Right? They cuts both ways. Good Lord, that's what I was trying to say. Look at Drake May's first year to second year under a better head coach and more experience. Absolutely. Look at the team's success. And somebody else in the text line, 816, mentioned that, you know, Josh Allen wasn't immediately the guy. I said he was. You're exactly right. I think he started 11 games, his rookie year. He didn't start like the first month. And his first 2 years in the league weren't great. 10 touchdowns to 12 picks in his rookie year. His second year in the league, he had 20 touchdowns to 9 picks. You know, he wasn't an immediate hit in this league. The jump he took from 2019 to 2020, his second year to his third year, was astronomical. And that helped him solidify himself in the National Football League. But you're exactly right. There were questions surrounding Josh Allen early on in his career. I think a lot of times you just got to, you know, whether you want to or not, I know that it'll suck for a year, but sometimes it might just be better to give the young guy that you believe can be your franchise cornerstone a year to learn. 913-586-7965 is our number. Speaking of Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, there's news out of their head coaching search. A news story that never should have happened in the first place has come to an end, and we'll discuss that next. Logan Weber alongside James Howell. You're listening to After Hours on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5, The Fan.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Now get a small coffee, just 99 cents. Limited time only. See store for details.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Well, it's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one final kickoff, your final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is the 60th Super Bowl, and FanDuel is making sure that you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, maybe you're riding with the underdog, or you're building that last same-game parlay. So whether you're betting the spread, who's going to win MVP, or who you think's going to find the end zone, FanDuel's got you covered for this year's Super Bowl. Make it count, because after the Super Bowl, it's done. Finito. So it's your last call for football this season on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. And visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook and the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued non-withdrawal bonus bank. 7 Street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy, bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve. Plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fesco and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Well, I'm sure it was a tough choice, but we officially have word from ESPN that Phillip Rivers has officially withdrawn his name from the Buffalo Bills head coaching search. According to reports, Rivers made the decision because he wanted to have the opportunity to coach his son in high school football. Again, this goes back to a conversation we were having last week, because there were some people in the text line that gave me a little bit of pushback about my thoughts on this. Phillip Rivers, I think, has the chance to be a good coach in the NFL. A head coach one day, certainly. Not right now. You can't just go from a starting quarterback in the NFL to a head coach in this league. You can't. Okay? And people are like, I believe he could. I think he'd be a great coach. I think he'd be a fantastic quarterbacks coach right now. Even an offensive coordinator, if you wanted to do that, right? My thought was, if Buffalo wants to make Joe Brady the head coach and elevate him, and you make Phillip Rivers your OC, I have no issue with that. But even despite all the experience that Phillip Rivers has as a player in this league, anybody that covers the game, anybody who's played the game, anybody who's coached the game will tell you that coaching it and playing it are very different. And you kind of have to learn how to coach it before you can coach it at the highest level. I mean, you can't go from being a starting quarterback in the league for nearly 20 years to a high school football coach for 4, and then playing 4 games again in the National Football League 5 years after you retired, and then become a head coach. Now, I applaud the Bills for turning over all the stones and finding what they can, but there's no way, there's no scenario where Phillip Rivers was a legitimate candidate for this job. There's no way.
Bizarre.
It's like the Schefter thing when the Browns interviewed Condoleezza Rice for the job opening, or wanted to interview Condoleezza Rice for the job. Like, there's no way that was an actually viable head coaching candidate that you were seriously considering hiring. Maybe in 10 years, after Rivers has had an opportunity to be a quarterback's coach and an offensive coordinator, it may take less time than that. I don't know. But hiring Phillip Rivers to be your head coach right now would be asinine, in my opinion.
Yeah, you just don't really see it happen. I mean, we do see players move on to be coaches. Mike Vrabel is a very good example of that. But he didn't just become a head coach.
Right. He was like the linebackers coach for Ohio State, and then he became the defensive coordinator, and then he went to the NFL, and then he got the job with the Titans. He had to work his way through the ranks in order to get to that level.
Yeah, so, the whole thing was bizarre. Phillip Rivers even coming back to play was bizarre because it reset his clock for the Hall of Fame candidacy. Sorry, can't speak. So that was bizarre in my mind. And then the whole head coach interview, it was like, what are we doing? I understand due diligence, but there's also a factor in there that says we're wasting some time, and I think that's exactly what the Bills did, is they wasted some time when they interviewed Phillip Rivers. He's not a serious candidate. I mean, how could he be?
Yeah, no. I mean, especially when you look at some of the other names that Buffalo is reportedly, interviewing for the job. I saw a report today that they interviewed Joe Brady a second time now for the head coaching job. I think Joe Brady will be a head coach in this league sooner rather than later. If it's not Buffalo this offseason, somebody's going to give him a head coaching job next year. I think Joe Brady is one of the finest offensive minds in football today, and he will be a head coach very, very quickly in this league. I also saw that they interviewed Davis Webb today. He was the pass game coordinator and quarterbacks coach for the Denver Broncos this past year. I believe he played in the league for a little while, I thought. I mean, another guy, he was drafted in 2017 out of Cal. He spent a couple of seasons, he played in 2 NFL games, including one with the New York Giants in 2022. So that would be a very quick turnaround for Davis Webb to be a head coach 3-4 years after his playing days are done. But it still took him a little bit of time. The one that I find the most interesting right now, and I see some people in the text line bringing up Brian Daboll, I'm not hearing his name a lot in the Bills head coaching search. I thought it would be, very easy to draw that connection because, well, he was the offensive coordinator for the Bills. He's the guy credited with saving or fixing Josh Allen and morphing Josh into who he's become now. But the name I'm hearing more is Grant Yudinski, the Jaguars offensive coordinator. He actually today withdrew his name from the Browns head coaching search, which, okay, he withdrew his name from Cleveland, but he's still considering Buffalo. He did sign a new contract with Jacksonville, including that was a raise, but that's only if he's not hired as the Bills head coach. Leads me to, and this is all coming from Adam Schefter, leads me to believe that I think the job is Grant Yudinski's if he wants it. And I don't know much about the guy, if I'm being honest. But he helped transform Trevor Lawrence in a year. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was looked at as a guy that was going to be out of this league in a couple of years. Former number 1 overall pick. Many said he was the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck coming out of Clemson.
Sure.
And the last couple of years had been sort of ho-hum for him, if not worse than that. And this year, he really kind of transformed into a QB1.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Bills could be... I know Brian Daboll is supposedly going to get the job, or that's what everyone speculates or whatever. The Bills could be looking outside the box, trying to get something different instead of repurposing or reusing these tools that we've already had. I know a lot of Chiefs fans are complaining about that same thing. I'm not a big fan of the EB hire, personally. I'd like to see some fresh mind in here. Maybe that's what the Bills are doing.
As of now, 7 people have interviewed for the Bills head coaching job. Lou Anarumo, Joe Brady, Brian Daboll, Anthony Lynn, Grant Yudinski, Anthony Weaver, and Phillip Rivers. There is a report that, of course, the Bills want to interview Davis Webb. I also saw something about Mike McDaniel potentially, but with him officially accepting the Chargers job, I don't know how viable an option he is. I don't know. I mean, Weaver or Anarumo would be fascinating to me because, I mean, the Bills have had offensive-minded head coaches with Josh Allen.
Right.
I mean, I guess they didn't. They had Sean McDermott, so I take that back. But I don't know. Maybe Josh would like to have an offensive-minded guy. As much as I hate the Bills, I think Mike Tomlin would be a perfect fit. I think Mike's just going to relax for a year.
That's what I see happening. I mean, he's been coaching for so long. And like, let's look at recent examples. Sean Payton, what did he do? Did he just start coaching again? Did he immediately sign with a different team? No, he went and relaxed, enjoyed his time a little bit.
Who across the league is going to be willing to trade for Mike Tomlin, right? I mean, that's the craziest part about it is he stepped down, but he's still under contract with Pittsburgh. So somebody would have to trade for Mike Tomlin to be their head coach.
That's crazy.
Who's going to do that right now?
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. 913-586-7965 is our number. I know that the Super Bowl is 2 weeks away, which means NFL Honors is 2 weeks away, but I want to talk about the NFL Honors. Okay, the finalists have been announced. I want to kind of go down the list, make some predictions. Who's going to win these awards? Who we think should win these awards? We'll do that next. Logan Weber, James Howell, you're listening to After Hours, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate, 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
So, as is the case every year, the NFL honors will be held on the Thursday before the Super Bowl, February 5th to be exact this year. John Hamm is hosting the event. Notorious Chiefs fan, I may add, John Hamm. I think he's a St. Louis native. The finalists for the awards were announced earlier this month. And I kind of want to take some time here, kind of make some predictions over a week before the awards themselves are handed out. So quickly here, we'll go through MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookies of the Year on both sides of the football, Comeback Player of the Year, Coach, Assistant Coach of the Year, which may be a little bit more niche, I guess you could say, and potentially even Executive of the Year. So the AP Most Valuable Player, the finalists, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, and Matthew Stafford. First of all, having Josh Allen as a finalist for this award and not James Cook from the Buffalo Bills seems outlandish, in my opinion. I digress. Josh is not going to win the award. Trevor's not going to win the award. Christian McCaffrey is not going to win this award. It's going to come down to Drake May and Matthew Stafford, and I believe it's going to be Matthew Stafford.
I'm right there with you. I think he deserves it. I think he deserves it way more than Drake May does. I know Drake May is developing and he's coming into his own. Matthew Stafford, on many occasions throughout the season, has put that team on his back and has carried them to victory. And I mean, he's by definition the most valuable player, in my opinion.
This season, Drake May completed 72% of his passes. Outstanding, I will add, right? 14-3 record, spectacular, better than Stafford, right? Both of those things. Matthew Stafford had 4,700 passing yards. Drake May had just under 4,400. Okay, here's where I find the difference. Matthew Stafford had 46 passing touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Drake May, 31 passing touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Drake May had 4 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, that's all well and good. Stafford had none. That's still 46 total touchdowns for Stafford to 35 for Drake May. Matthew Stafford should win the MVP, in my opinion. And, I mean, doing it at this point in his career, at his age, is insane to me. 38 years old. Got his first team All-Pro nod of his career. He's deserving of this. I'm not going to be super upset if it's Drake May, but I believe it should be Matthew Stafford. Not to mention, Matthew Stafford played in a harder division against a harder schedule than Drake May did. Drake May's toughest games this year were playing the Bills twice. Outside of that, they played a third-place schedule. It was lax, to say the least. AP Defensive Player of the Year. Will Anderson, Nick Bonito, Myles Garrett, Aiden Hutchinson, and Micah Parsons. I'm a little bit surprised to see Micah Parsons getting a DPOY nomination as a finalist, but shouldn't matter. This is not going to be one that's discussed much. This might end up being a unanimous selection. It's Myles Garrett. Set the sack record.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry. The guy that set the single-season sack record is going to win the MVP. Or the Defensive Player of the Year. Honestly, I think defensive players should be getting more recognition in MVP talks like they used to, right? Like, look at J.J. Watt getting MVP consideration, at the height of his powers, and seeing Lawrence Taylor win MVPs during his time as an edge rusher for the New York Giants. I feel like Myles Garrett needs to be in those finalists for MVP kind of conversations. Doesn't help that he took the money and ran in Cleveland and plays on a bad football team. Offensive Player of the Year, Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Bijan Robinson. I think CMC is going to win the Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
I think he should anyway.
I'm going to go with JSN since we're using acronyms.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going with JSN. I think he's deserving. He's blossomed into an incredible player this year. And, yeah, I'm down with CMC too. I could see that happening.
I mean, he had a remarkable year this year. I mean, the rushing numbers, don't immediately jump out to you because he didn't lead the league on the ground. That would be James Cook. Sure. But 1,200 rushing yards this year on top of 924 yards through the air. He finished the season with 17 total touchdowns and did it in an offense that was gutted.
Crippled. Yeah.
Offensive line injuries. Brock Purdy missed a chunk of the year. Brandon Ayuk is, rather than playing football, driving 120 miles an hour past Levi Stadium, flipping off the bird in Santa Clara. You saw guys over. Jawan Jennings missed time with injury. Ricky Pierce, he was the only constant in that offense the entire year. Even George Kittle missed time during the regular season before ultimately the serious injury in the playoffs. Christian McCaffrey, after the year he had last year, all the injury issues, he only played in 4 games, to come back and have 21 yards of total offense and 17 touchdowns, I wouldn't be disappointed to see JSN win the Offensive Player of the Year award. I wouldn't be disappointed to see Puka win it. I really like Christian McCaffrey in consideration for that award. And I think the fact that Drake May is being put into that category as a finalist for that award tells me everything I need to know about Matthew Stafford in the MVP race.
I think you hit the nail right on the head there, bud.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jackson Dart, Emeka Ibuka, Travion Henderson, Teteroa McMillan, and Tyler Shuck. First of all, this is not a fun Offensive Rookie of the Year class to be voting on. It's been kind of a letdown year offensively. Frankly, if Tyler Shuck had started from the Saints in week 1, he'd have run away with this award.
Yeah.
Absolutely run away with it. I tentatively go with I'll go with Emeka Ibuka with the Buccaneers, But I honestly don't know, and frankly don't care that much because the rookies this season weren't super impressive.
Well, and I'm going to go the same path you went with Ibuka. But I also think that if like Cam Scatteroo wouldn't have got injured this year, he probably would have ran away with it. I mean, of course, these are all like what ifs and hypotheticals, but you're absolutely right. It's just not impressive. I'm not interested in it, and say less.
Yeah, man. I mean, Ibuka this year, 63 catches, 938 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He sort of tapered off towards the end of the year, but a lot of that can be attributed to the slowdown of the Bucs offense entirely. Injuries to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. He was getting a lot deeper looks from a defense than a rookie wide receiver should typically expect because all the other weapons were hurt. Bucky Irving missed a lot of time. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Abdul Carter, Nick Emanwari, James Pierce, Carson Schlesinger, and Xavier Watts. I like Carson Schlesinger here. I mean, led all rookies in tackles. First pick of the second round. People thought that there were some good things to see from him, but 141 total tackles this year, 58 of them solos, 2.5 sacks, a couple of picks, nearly double-digit TFLs. I think Schlesinger should be the defensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL. Comeback Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey. That's going to be a going away with 100%.
it. 100%.
Absolutely should run away with this. AP Coach of the Year fascinates me because I have my selection. I have the guy I think will win it. I think the guy that does win it is probably Mike McDonald of the Seattle Seahawks. To go grab somebody, and frankly, I think the Seahawks general manager will win Executive of the Year also. But if I had a vote, I would vote for Kyle Shanahan. All the injuries that San Francisco had to deal with. You lose Bosa. You lose Fred Warner. Brock Purdy misses a ton of time. We talked about all the weapons offensively that they were without. Letting Talanoa Hufanga walk. And you still won 12 football games in that division and got to the divisional round of the playoffs. Kyle Shanahan did the best coaching of his career this season, and I think he deserves to be recognized for that. And then Assistant Coach of the Year, I feel like that you have to, and the fact that the Seahawks defensive coordinator wasn't considered for this, I think a lot of that's probably because Mike McDonald is a defensive guy, so less consideration for that. I lean towards either Vance Joseph or Clint Kubiak. One of those two guys. You know, Vance Joseph leading that Broncos team to historically one of the best defenses of all time. I sort of would say he probably walks away with it. How does Stafford not win the MVP? I don't think there's even an argument from his stats to the difficulty of schedule. I'm 100% with you, but there's way too many people that are advocating for Drake May right now that I find somewhat preposterous. And I think it's a lot of people that want to start a narrative comparing Drake May to Patrick Mahomes. Like, is he the guy that will finally dethrone Patrick Mahomes in the NFL? I don't buy that BS. Neither should you. 913-586-7965 is our number. More coming up, including some college basketball news. But somebody earlier pointed out that the Steelers hired Mike McCarthy. I think it's ridiculous, and I'm going to tell you why next. You're listening to After Hours. Logan Weber, James Howell, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game.
Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug!
Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down.
Hey!
Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Jewelry Graham. Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. Any style, any budget. Like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or hand-matched diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. Come see us in store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to win Valentine's Day. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Football's biggest game is right around the corner, and you can get in on all of the action with Underdog right now in Missouri. If you're not on Underdog yet, then you're in luck, because new customers score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And I love playing on Underdog because it's easy. Just head to the app, make entries on if a player will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. And if you get them right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Plus, there's new promos dropping every day in the app. So if you like making entries and winning money, then Underdog is the place to be for the big game. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code BOB to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code BOB. Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over in present Missouri. Terms apply. See assets at underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
So Mike McCarthy is the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Somebody brought that up earlier, saying that they had told me on Friday that was their prediction, and I said, I don't think there's any way the Steelers go with Mike McCarthy. And they wanted to remind me that that's what they said and that I was wrong, and I was wrong. And I was wrong because I thought more highly of the Pittsburgh Steelers than I should have. I'm sorry, I am not a Mike McCarthy fan at all. Mike McCarthy's entire claim to fame resides in the fact that he coached Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. That's it. I really don't see how much credit he can really be given for what Aaron Rodgers provided in Green Bay. Because Aaron Rodgers, lest we forget, won back-to-back MVPs after Mike McCarthy left. This guy's going to be a head coach for the 3rd time already. He's 62 years old. I like the fact that the Steelers went with an offensive-minded head coach that is very against the grain for them traditionally. but they generally go with younger head coaches. That's sort of been their MO for a while. Going after a 62-year-old head coach in Mike McCarthy, who outside of one Super Bowl win in his 5th year in Green Bay, hasn't seen a lot of success. They missed the playoffs his last 2 years with the Packers. They made the playoffs 3 times in his 5 years with the Cowboys and lost in the wild card round twice. I don't really understand this move. Unless the Steelers are looking to do what the Steelers do, and that is be just good enough, because that is Mike McCarthy to a T. Let's be just good enough, right? We'll make the playoffs, but you shouldn't expect anything past the divisional round. Because I don't think Mike McCarthy is going to be able to remanufacture a potentially 43-year-old Aaron Rodgers to do what he did in Green Bay. Because I don't feel like he had that much to do with how successful Rodgers was in Green Bay to begin with. I digress. 913-586-7965 is our number. Hey, man, if that's what the Steelers want to do, fine by me. Who am I to try to help a team be successful? Playing in the same conference as the Chiefs, continue to be bad. Continue to be, just a shade above mediocre, if that's what you prefer. Please, I'm all for it. Logan Weber alongside James Howell. Another 60 minutes of After Hours coming your way next. We'll talk some Major League Baseball, some big news in regards to an AL Central rival of the Kansas City Royals. And how about some college basketball? Big matchups over the weekend, KU, K-State, Mizzou, Oklahoma. Some matchups coming up tomorrow as well. We'll talk about all that next here on After Hours. Logan Weber, James Howell, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom.
Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
This message is brought to you by Pizza Hut, because if you're yelling hot on Sundays, why not yell pizza first, Jonas?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Especially when it comes to Pizza Hut. It's so good.
How about the Big New Yorker, Jonas? That's right. It's their biggest pizza, bro. And right now, it's just $10.
I mean, LeVar, that just smells and tastes like success. And for only $10, sign me up.
Before the first hut, grab the Big New Yorker and you're set for the whole game.
40,000 people. That's not a crowd. It's a small city. It's also the number of people choosing pain relief without surgery. 40,000 people who said, stop, before you replace my knee or my hip. Before I put my life on hold, there has to be another way. And they found it at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular level treatments that revitalize joint tissue naturally. Patients who thought surgery was the only answer are getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics advanced regenerative treatments. Surgery isn't always the answer. QC Kinetics uses safe, natural treatments to activate your body's healing power with zero downtime. Get started now to ease inflammation and slow the progression of osteoarthritis. Call them today because 40,000 people can't be wrong. Before you say yes to surgery, do your research and call my friends at QC Kinetics. The consultation's free. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and and that is legal tax defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about legal tax defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
Vern's Hot Stove Show, Thursday nights starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
I didn't realize we would have people so quick to rush to the defense of Mike McCarthy. Somebody called in, didn't want to be on air apparently, they hung up, saying to give Mike McCarthy a break because he's a local guy. He went to Baker. Okay, first of all, Mike McCarthy is not a local guy. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He went to college at Salem University. And then went to Scottsdale Community College for a year. And then, yes, he played at Baker for 2 years, where he was a 2-time all-conference tight end at an NAIA Division II school. And I'm supposed to give him a break because of that? No. I'm not going to do that. I don't think he's a very good football coach. Not at the NFL level. Sorry. He's had 2 shots at it. Aaron Rodgers kept that man in a job a decade longer than he should have. And I say that as a certified, stamp-approved Aaron Rodgers hater. That is me. Beside the point. I want to talk college basketball. I want to talk a little Major League Baseball throughout here. But as I was sitting in the bullpen before the show started, I was listening to a little bit of what C-Dot and Rob were doing in here, and I was listening to Dana and Parks over on our sister station, KMBZ. And Scott was talking about Landman, show on Paramount. You seen it? You a fan of the show? No?
Nope, never seen it.
Okay. Well, it just finished its 2nd season. And so, brings up a question. What are we watching right now? What's on TV? What are we peeking in on at the moment? And right now, I just finished season 2 of Landman. First things first, Taylor Sheridan does not miss. James, I'm telling you, anything Taylor Sheridan's putting out right now, watch it, please.
Okay, all right.
Now, that's Taylor Sheridan. So these are just some of the projects that Taylor Sheridan has put out. And I'm sure that I'll forget one, so I'm going to pull up the list just to make sure that I don't miss out on one. The first one was Yellowstone. He created and directed
Great
Yellowstone. Show. Phenomenal.
Yes.
Of course, the 2 prequels that came with it, 1923 and 1883. Fun little story about 1883. I turned it on one day. I hadn't seen it yet. Turned it on, not realizing I was on my parents' account, and started watching an episode. The episode ended. It was the last episode. I watched the last episode of the only season of the show and completely missed the first 7 episodes because my parents had already watched it. So it just replayed season 1, episode 8. And I'm like, why does it feel like they're so far along in the story? And then it gets to the end and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding. So I had to wait like 6 months before I was finally like, okay, I'll go back and I'll watch the whole thing through. It's all right. It's got Sam Elliott in it. I'm always a sucker for Sam Elliott. Tim McGraw plays the lead. It's pretty good. 1923 was phenomenal television. I wish they would have done more than just the couple of seasons that they did. It was so good. He also did, he's done Mayor of Kingstown, which is a really, really good show. Jeremy Renner plays the lead, where he's called the mayor, where he is basically the middleman between like the cops, the detectives, the politicians, the gangsters, and the prisoners inside of this town Kingstown, which is just full of prisons. And he's trying to just keep everybody happy. it's a really, really good show. Tulsa King is another one with Sylvester Stallone. I haven't seen that one yet, but I've heard that it's fantastic. One of the other ones that I really enjoy is called Lioness. It's really, really good, dude.
Man, I am so glad that we are having this conversation tonight. I just got done watching Stranger Things season 5, and I needed some suggestions for something to watch, something that is binge worthy. So you said 1923?
Yes. It's one of those shows, like you could watch it. I mean, you could definitely watch it before you. I mean, have you seen Yellowstone?
Yeah, I've seen Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 1923 is really 1883 is like the whole. That's the setup for it. So that's the family going and actually settling in Montana and starting the ranch.
Sure.
So yeah, it's
yeah, I'm
really,
gonna have
really
to.
good,
I really liked Yellowstone, so I'm gonna have to go in and check those two out. Probably tonight.
and Lioness is I mean, that's fantastic. It's so if you don't like, a lioness is basically like a covert operative.
Okay.
They're females, and they're specifically like trained to infiltrate and like go undercover and do what they do in covert operations.
Sure.
And, like, it's Zoe Saldana is the lead in it, and she like heads the department. Cool. It's so good.
It sounds cool.
It is extremely
You said
good.
that's on Paramount?
Yeah, or Amazon if you've got
Amazon,
it's sort of really weird. And then of course Landman, which just finished season 2. Billy Bob Thornton is the lead in it, and it's a really, really good show. Also, Taylor Sheridan just doesn't miss right now, man. Does not miss. Some other people in the text line, best documentary on Netflix is Don't F with Cats. I've never seen it. I've heard good things. I've just never seen it.
I've seen it on the list of things to watch. I've scrolled by it. I've heard good things. Never really had an interest in watching it, though.
Fallout and Copenhagen Test. Okay. I watched the first season of Fallout. I haven't started the second season yet, but I need to. I played the video games like briefly, but never really got too deep into them. But I enjoyed the first season of the show. I need to watch the second season. The Rip, which is a new movie. I think it's on Netflix. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. I haven't watched it yet, but I need to. My wife and I are currently watching season 2 of The Pit right now. The 3rd episode of the season just dropped a couple of days ago that we watched. The first season was really, really good. The whole like premise behind The Pit is fascinating to me. Like, an entire season is just one shift in the ER. So each episode is just an hour of that shift on that day in this emergency room in Pittsburgh. It's good, dude. It's really, really good. So the guy that created it and writes it and directs it is Noah Weil, who was one of the lead actors in ER forever and ever alongside George Clooney. And interestingly enough, I just started watching ER for the first time over the weekend. I just got bored and was like, I'll put that on. Because my parents were like obsessed with it when I was a kid. ER. It was regularly viewed television in my home. I never really sat down and watched much of it.
Sure.
I'm not typically a huge fan of medical dramas to begin with. I don't do well with blood and guts. It's just not. Dude, I get queasy when somebody puts a needle in my arm. I just can't.
Sure.
It's just not my. I cannot do it. I do not like it. I do not like the sight of blood. It's just not my thing. But The Pit has been really, really good. I'll give my wife a ton of credit. She sat me down and has made me watch Grey's Anatomy with her for years. So I've become a little bit more desensitized to it. I don't know. Pluribus is a great show. It's on Apple. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you've got Apple TV, I know everybody always talks about Ted Lasso, and they should because it's phenomenal television. Apple TV might be doing TV shows better than anybody right now, outside of potentially Taylor Sheridan, just by himself. But Apple has got some bangers that you can watch on there. I mean, I haven't seen Pluribus, but I've heard great things. Ted Lasso, obviously. Dark Horses, if you haven't seen that, Gary Oldman leads like this just bumbling cast of outcasts from MI5 in Britain. It is a really, really good show. And they pump out seasons. They'll release 2 seasons in a year. Like in a calendar year, they come out with 2 seasons. They roll with it. They absolutely, they pump out show, and it's really, really good television. Shrinking is another one. If you want to see Harrison Ford in a completely different role than anything you've ever seen him in before, watch Shrinking. He's a therapist with Parkinson's disease, and he is an incredibly hilarious and humbling individual to watch on that show. It is so damn good. Slow Horses. I said Dark Horses. Slow Horses is what I was talking about with Gary Oldman. It's such good TV. Severance. I watched the first season. I need to get caught up. Severance was really good. I can't remember the name of the golfing show with Owen Wilson, but I watched that, and it was pretty solid also. Apple TV does good work with their television shows. Absolutely. Somebody in the text line just brought up Shrinking. It's so good, dude. I'm telling you. It's only a matter of time until your wife makes you start watching Heated Rivalry. Watched it yesterday.
Did you?
I did. Watched it with my wife.
Yeah, mine is
my wife and my mom and my sister were like, you guys need to watch this. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. And I didn't mind it. It's an interesting show. It's an interesting premise, is what it is. Sure. It had hockey in it. That was cool.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I was going to throw this out there. One good show that you should check out, Upload. It's called Upload.
Upload, okay.
And it's basically like they create a digital afterlife that you could upload your consciousness to.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
I feel like I've seen like clips of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I believe it's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Okay.
But it's very, very good show, very unique concept to it.
Interesting. In the year 2033. Wow, we're 7 years away from being able to upload our consciousness, right? Just thinking about it from the Back to the Future mindset here a little bit. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, great show. I've made it through all the way through the first season. We've started on to the second, and continue it on.
Somebody said I need to watch F1 and Sinners before the Oscars. I've seen Sinners twice, actually. Great movie. One of the better movies of the year. Has Been Hotel. I've never heard of that. It's on Amazon. Okay. Has Been Hotel.
Yeah, I think
it's an interesting spelling.
I think it's like an animated show.
Okay. I'm not usually a big time anime fan.
Sure.
At least not generally in my I was big into Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But that was kind of it. I haven't seen F1 yet. I need to, and I know that.
The Rip. Yep.
What was is it one Battle After Another with Brad Pitt was really good.
Okay.
I just finished watching that. I really thought that was an outstanding show. Somebody said Paradise, which is on Hulu. I have heard really, really good things about that show. James Marsden and Sterling K. Brown, where I think Sterling K. Brown's character plays like the president and something catastrophic. I've heard really good things about it. I've never seen it. Somebody else brought up Rip again.
Yeah.
The Rip.
Yeah.
I guess
Welcome to
sit down.
Derry. That's a good one.
See, I'm not a scary movie guy.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the It movies, the original and the remake.
Bob and weave that stuff right now. It's just it's not my bag. Never really has been. I was 10 years old and I went to see Paranormal Activity in theaters for the first time. That was a mistake.
Yeah.
At that age.
I bet
Couldn't
that was
do it.
traumatizing.
Couldn't do it, man. Between that and my mom hates this story, but when I was a kid, like when the first Batman Begins movie came out, if you remember, with the first in the Nolan trilogy with Christian Bale, which, by the way, Christian Bale, I think is a top 5 actor alive right now. That man's range is absolutely ridiculous. He is so damn, like the same guy who played a serial killer in American Psycho, played Batman in 3 major motion pictures, and was also the lead in a musical like Newsies. That's Christian Bale's range Absolutely outrageous.
And just to throw it out there, and I don't care what anyone says, Christian Bale was the best Batman.
Oh, without question.
100%.
Without question. But when the first Batman movie, when Batman Begins came out, the first in that trilogy, I liked the movie. My brother and I were both really liked the movie. We were big superhero fans, still are, frankly. And my mom bought us a Batman Begins poster. She put it up in our room because my brother and I, at that point, I was 8 or 9, and he was 5 or 6. We shared a room. We had bunk beds. My mom thought, I'll buy this poster and put it in their room. What my mother did not realize until the first night we went to bed after she put the poster up was that it was a glow-in-the-dark poster, meaning just the eyes and mouth of Batman were glowing in the dark, and they followed you everywhere. And at 8 years old, it absolutely ruined me, man. I was mortified by this Batman Begins poster. My brother and I still talk. It's been 20 years, and we still bring that up to my mom, and she hates that story so much. The Machinist. He was outstanding in The Machine. The Fighter, if you've ever seen The Fighter with him and Mark Wahlberg, where he plays a heroin addict. He's a crackhead. He lost like 50 pounds for that. And that was in the middle of him doing the Batman trilogy, where he's like shredded as Bruce Wayne, right? And then drops and does that. And I know that people hated the movie generally. I didn't hate it all that much. If you've ever seen Thor, Love and Thunder, or if you haven't yet, watch it purely to watch Christian Bale play Gore the God Butcher in it. He's the best part of the movie. He plays such an outstanding villain in that movie. And then he does he's done other things. Like The Big Short. He did a tremendous job in The Big Short, playing like this very socially awkward, eccentric, just genius of a guy who understood money markets and knew that the stock market in 2008 was going to crash. He portrayed it extremely well. Somebody said Robert Pattinson rivals Christian Bale's Batman. I think he plays a better, like, sort of brooding Batman. Especially Robert Pattinson's Batman fit his movie as well as Christian Bale's Batman fit his, if that makes any sense. Like, the Batman that Christian Bale portrayed and the Bruce Wayne that he portrayed would not have worked in the movie that Robert Pattinson was in, because it had to be a lot more serious, a lot more gory and rough around the edges, and vice versa. Pattinson's Batman being as serious and demented as he was in that movie would not have worked in Batman Begins, like in that scene where he's swimming in that little like hotel, the whatever it was, that little fountain thing that they were swimming in with those two models. Like, Pattinson's Batman couldn't have done that. I think that they both fit the mold of their movies really, really well. So I don't disagree with that. Has Been Hotel is animated. It's also a musical opera kind of format. Okay. It's definitely adult content. All right. Drug use, sex references, language, etc. The premise is that the daughter of Satan... Okay. All right. This is already interesting. Runs a hotel in hell where she tries to redeem the fallen souls, all while heaven's angels are planning to attack and wipe out all of hell and hell's existence. All the while, two media moguls, one a TV demon and the other a radio demon, battle to rule hell. That is a storyline if I've ever heard it. Holy. I'm not sure how to react to that.
Yeah, it's a rarity, but they've got me a little speechless on that one.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, any project of any kind, movie, television, animated, live action, what have you, that starts with hell, hey, that makes your eyebrows stand up a little bit. That could get interesting from there. 913-586-7965 is our number. Give me some more TV and movie recommendations. It doesn't have to be new. It could be older. Give me just some of your favorites, because, I mean, I'm a huge movie and TV guy, so I'm always interested in watching something that I've never seen before and seeing if I like it. I mean, like I said, I'm watching ER for the first time right now. I just finished my second rewatch of The West Wing in a year. I'd never seen it before, and it's one of my top 10, I would say, easily favorite TV shows I've ever watched. It's so damn good. So if you think I have seen it before, it's all right. Share it with me anyway, because I want to know. Logan Weber alongside James Howell. You're listening to After Hours here on 96.5 The Fan. College basketball news coming your way next on your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City Sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, the new year is here, and if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more, designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Don't let winter catch you off guard. Keep your family cozy with a $69 heating system tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. We have pros available 7 days a week to keep your system running at peak efficiency, helping prevent costly breakdowns, lower energy bills, and keep your home warm all winter long. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Hey, it's Josh Vern. You're in before I head out to Arizona to see the boys in blue in spring training. I'll be hosting the Royals Rally Show live from Kauffman Stadium on Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9 a.m. The biggest names in the organization will join me for exclusive one-on-one interviews as they get ready for the 2026 season. If you miss any of the show, it'll all be available afterwards on the All Things Vern podcast channel. The Royals Rally Show, Saturday, January 31st, starting at 9, right here in your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, with only 2 college football games, or I shouldn't say college football, with only 2 NFL games to watch this past weekend, both of them on Sunday, you might have been looking for other things to watch on Saturday, and let me tell you, there were some good college basketball performances that we got to see over the weekend. Before I get to some of the local ones, let me just look around the country. First of all, A.J. Debanza putting 43 on Utah in that massive rivalry game between Utah and BYU. One of the better performances of the week. Unfortunately, he was overshadowed, I should say, by a fellow freshman. And this is a local guy from Shawnee, Kansas. that both Kansas and Kansas State let walk away. Keaton Wagler. Memorize the name. He and the Illinois Fighting Illini went into Mackey Arena on Saturday against Purdue and walked away with an 88-82 win. Keaton Wagler, an 18-year-old kid, true freshman, 46 points on the road against Purdue. And you don't have to be a Big Ten fan to know how difficult an environment that Mackey Arena in West Lafayette, Indiana can be. It is one of the toughest places to go and win on the road in all of college basketball. And this kid, months removed from high school, just put in a 46-point performance. That is the most by an opponent in a single game in the history of that arena. And that arena's been around a long time. 13 of 17 from the field. He knocked down 9 of his 11 three-pointers and made 11 of his 13 attempts at the free throw line. He also had 4 assists. He played a game-high 39 minutes. Illinois wins it by 6. Well, I watched that game. It was absolutely ridiculous. Looking around the Big 12, watching a battle of epic proportions between Texas Tech and Houston on Saturday was also a fun one, with JT Toppin going for 31 and 12 against Houston, despite Fleming's going for 42. Red Raiders win it 90-86 on the road and knock Houston out of the unbeaten mark in the Big 12. And listen, I was complimenting Scott Parks before the show, and I hated it. I didn't like doing it. I don't like doing it now. The Nebraska Cornhuskers are a really good basketball team. They're 20-0. They're undefeated right now. They are 9-0 in the Big Ten. They went on the road and beat Illinois. They beat Michigan State. They're gonna have to really buckle down, though, in the next week or so. Their next 4 games include a road game tomorrow against Michigan. You want to talk about a Super Tuesday matchup? How about a top 5 game at the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor? 5th-ranked Nebraska, 3rd-ranked Michigan. The winner could stand alone at the top of the Big Ten standings right now. Then they've got a February 1st matchup at home against Illinois. That's on Sunday. Then they got a road game against Rutgers. Rutgers isn't great this year. They're 2-7 in the league. They're 9-11 overall. They're not a good basketball team. But then they got to host 12th-ranked Purdue on February 10th. It's a rough 3 games in a 4-game slate there for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, but they're 20-0. It's a program that's made the NCAA tournament once, ever. They're undefeated right now. But how about local college basketball action? Saturday saw a renewal of the Sunflower Showdown, KU, K-State. Sorry, Wildcats. I'm sorry to the EMAW fans out there. KU just went in and in the second half just embarrassed K-State to the tune of an 86-62 win. Mind you, KU won this game by 24 points without Darren Peterson. Without their best player, without the potential number 1 overall pick in next year's NBA draft. I should say this year's NBA draft at this point. Flory Badunga, 21-10. Melvin Council finished with 17 points. Inefficient, as per usual. But, I mean, he nearly had a triple-double. Melvin Council. 17 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds to just 1 turnover. So he didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but he was very, very effective with the basketball in his hands in terms of setting up his teammates. Trey White, 13 points, did the bulk of his work at the stripe, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Bryson Tiller with an efficient 6 of 8 shooting performance from the field in the game. Elmarco Jackson, hello. How are you? A guy who came in averaging, 4 points a game. The sophomore from Marlton, New Jersey. 19 against K-State on 7 shots. Knocked down all of his free throws. Jayhawks were 20 of 24 at the stripe in the game. And despite the fact that they shot 4 of 16 from 3, KU still won this game by 24. K-State is now 1-6 in the Big 12. KU is at 5-2, and they have played their best basketball of the year in the last 2 weeks. I still think Jerome Tang might be looking for employment elsewhere when this season ends, but we'll have to wait and see. He absolutely took the area and the college basketball world by storm in year one with that team that made that run in the NCAA tournament, but he hasn't been able to build upon it at all. He hasn't even been able to maintain it. It's just gotten worse. On the other side of the state line, however, it was the Missouri Tigers with a insane come-from-behind win in overtime to beat Oklahoma, led by Mark Mitchell with 25 points, including a game-winning three-pointer to put the Tigers over the top. T.O. Barrett finished with 21. Jaden Stone had 20 in the game. Those 3 guys accounted for 66 of the Tigers' 88 points. Jacob Cruz only had 6 in the game. Sean Phillips finished with 5, and Mizzou had 11 points off the bench. 85 minutes of basketball. They had 11 points off the bench. For Oklahoma, Nigel Pack finished with 25. Xavier Brown with 19. And then it was sort of smatterings from there. But that was a huge win for Mizzou. A team that had lost 3 of their last 4 in SEC play. The only win in that stretch was against Auburn at home. So to get this win, you're now back above 500 in the conference, 4-3, 14-6 overall, as you head into your final 2 games of January. They've got to go on the road tomorrow and play Alabama, which is not easy. And then they've got a home matchup on the 31st against Mississippi State. Then the February decision becomes a factor. You split those 2 games if you're Mizzou, which I would lean towards that being what happens. You lose on the road to Alabama, then you beat Mississippi State at home. You're sitting at 5-4 in the SEC, 15-7 overall. Now, what happens in February will absolutely determine whether or not you make the NCAA tournament. South Carolina, Texas A&M on the road. Texas and Vanderbilt then at home. On the road against Arkansas. Mind you, an Arkansas team that playing better basketball as of late. Back up to number 15 in the latest top 25 poll. Then Tennessee at home, on the road against Mississippi State, on the road against Oklahoma, and then at home against Arkansas. That's a March 7th game. So you're looking at, 10 games left in your regular season? Six and 4 might get you in. 20-10 in the SEC. You'll finish the year 10-7 in SEC play. 11-7, 10-8, somewhere in there. Above 500 in the SEC. 20-10 overall record. That might be enough. You'll be sitting firmly on that 7 or 8 or 9 seed line. It's going to be a massive, massive game. Looking across at what KU's got coming up. K-State's got West Virginia on the road tomorrow, I might add. West Virginia is 13-7. They're 4-3 in the Big 12. They're a 7.5-point favorite at the Coliseum there in Morgantown. You are past time where you got to turn it around if you're Jerome Tang. Way past time. You are holding on to your job by the skin of your teeth. KU is off until Saturday, where we might get a chance to see the top two picks in the NBA draft facing off in Lawrence at Allen Fieldhouse. KU hosting BYU, AJ DeBansa against Darren Peterson. In the wise words of Charles Barkley, 2 words, must-see TV. Charles, that's not 2 words. Okay. Nash and Paul, that's 3 words, Chuck. It's one of the all-time sports media memes of all time. Not even close. 913-586-7965 is our number. It's always a good day when I can use an Inside the NBA reference. That always makes me feel good inside. Logan Weber alongside James Howell. We've got some Major League Baseball news that I want to dissect on the other side of the break, including some news surrounding a guy that was rumored to be a target of the Kansas City Royals and another inking a major deal with an AL Central rival. That's next here on After Hours, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
It's the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff. The final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. This is Super Bowl 60, and FanDuel's making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, riding with the underdog, or you're building one last same-game parlay, make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season's over, and football is officially done. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel Sportsbooks, the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Hiring a service, you're partnering with a trusted local professional with over 70,000 five-star reviews to make your house feel like home. And that's exactly why we chose CertaPro Painting for all of our painting needs and why our friends and family have done the same. Each CertaPro painter is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
The money that is thrown around Major League Baseball is utterly insane, man. Now, the money that's thrown around in sports is utterly insane, but in different professional leagues, it's insane for different reasons, right? Like the NBA, the amount of guys that are making crazy money, right? I mean, like, lest we forget about the Timothy Mozgov contract. Like, I mean, role players that are getting 9-figure deals is ludicrous, right? It's not as if they're making absurd, $100 million money a year or anything like that. But It's the guys that you're not accustomed to, the non-superstars. I mean, Timothy Mozgov getting a 4-year, $16 million a year from the Lakers in July of 2016, a decade ago. That's absurd money. In the NFL, it's the guaranteed money that's so insane. And in baseball, it's all of it. Okay, it's all of it. It's the length of these contracts. It's the amount of money in these contracts. It's these BS deferred payments that the Dodgers should be investigated for, not just by Major League Baseball. They are ruining the sport, and I cannot wait for the lockout that's going to come down after the current CBA ends. And I love that the owners are like, we don't care how long it takes. Something has to be done. And it does. It's freaking ridiculous, man. But earlier today, Jose Ramirez, best third baseman in baseball. I know. We love our Maikel Garcia. We do. Wouldn't trade him for any other third baseman in baseball, in my opinion. I wouldn't. Jose Ramirez is the best corner infielder at third base that there is in the sport today. He signed a new extension with the Cleveland Guardians for 7 years, $175 million. $10 million of that will be deferred every year. So that means 70 of that $175 million will be in deferred money. It also includes a no trade clause, bonuses for winning or finishing in the top 5 in MVP voting. It also means Jose Ramirez is going to be under contract with the Cleveland Guardians until he's 40. Wow, that's a long time. He will after here's the best part of this. So that $10 million that he's deferring every year, that is being deferred in his contract, will be paid out from 2036 to 2045 in 10 separate $1 million payments per year. So he's going to collect a $1 million check 10 times a year for a decade. It reminds me of that, what was that? The publishers wholesale commercials. You remember those? Yeah. Where like if you won, you got like a check for $25,000 every month for the rest of your life or like something.
Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So that's big news. I mean, Jose Ramirez is one of the best players in baseball today. There's no question about it. But giving a guy that's already 33 years old, that is under contract with you until 2028, another 4 years on that deal, and giving him $175 million over 7 years, he'll be 40 when this contract expires. He's an absolutely outstanding ball player. 6 Silver Slugger awards. He's a 7-time All-Star. He's finished in the top 6 of the MVP voting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. He's finished in the top 6. He's finished in the top 5 times. He's got a second-place finish. He's got 3 third-place finishes, a 4th-place finish, and a 5th-place finish. He's finished 6th once, 10th once, 17th once. It kind of boggles my mind how long he's been in the league. He made his debut in 2013 at age 20. Only played in 15 games that year, played in 68 games in 2014, played in 97 games in 2015. His first full season was the 2016 season, where he hit .312 with 11 homers, 76 RBIs. He finished 17th in the MVP voting. Wasn't an all-star that year for some reason, which is kind of interesting. But I don't know. Mind-boggling to me to see him ink a deal of that length, that money, when he's already 33 years old. And you already had him under contract for 3 more years, 26, 27, 28.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Hey, man. if it makes it more difficult for the Guardians to sign other players and opens the door a little bit more for the Kansas City Royals, I am all for it. Fine by me. On the National League side of things, big contract signed by the San Francisco Giants. They brought in center fielder Harrison Bader, 2 years, $20.5 million. Bader is coming off of what I would say is the best season of his career by pretty much every measure that you can think of. 277 batting average, 17 home runs, 54 RBIs across 146 games, 96 games with the Twins, and then got traded to the Philadelphia Phillies, where he had the best stretch of his career. In 50 games, he hit .305 with an OPS of 824, highest of his career in any stretch. He hit 5 home runs, drove in 16 RBIs. One of the bigger knocks against Bader is he's not a high contact guy. He's not a high power guy. He's also not a high on base percentage guy. Like, his career high for home runs was this last year. He hit 17. His career high for walks, 46. Career high for RBIs, 54. He doesn't drive in runs. He doesn't hit home runs. 277 was, without a doubt, the best batting average of his career. In a career .313 OBP. He doesn't walk a ton. He doesn't hit for great contact. He doesn't hit for power. He doesn't produce runs. But just had the best year of his career. And I know there were a lot of Royals fans talking about Kansas City potentially taking a flyer on him and utilizing him more as the everyday center fielder, or pairing him in a platoon sort of system with Kyle Isbell. Not the case now, as the 31-year-old will be in San Francisco playing the next 2 years with the Giants. Logan Weber here alongside my producer, James Howell. You're listening to After Hours. Our text line, 913-586-7965. We will come back and wrap up this Monday night edition of the show next here on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City Sports, 96.5, The Fan.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane. Since 1929, Shane Company has helped millions of customers find their dream engagement ring. I still hand-select every ruby and sapphire center stone, choosing each one for its unique color and life. We're proud to offer the widest selection of beautiful colored gemstones for your engagement ring and fine jewelry, because a friend wants you to have nothing but the best. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600, or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Revitalize your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off select vanities and free delivery during our bath savings event. Plus, get up to 40% off select shower heads. No matter what style you're looking for, we've got you covered. Shop for your bathroom refresh at Lowe's. We help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or bird seed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Couple of stories to close out our show tonight with that have some local ties to them. The first, the Kansas City Royals have agreed to a minor league contract for Hector Neris, a relief pitcher, veteran player in Major League Baseball. He is on the older side, 36 years old. He turns 37 in June. Neris, for his career, a 3.47 ERA across 12 Major League seasons. I'm trying to look at the number of games that he's pitched in. 643. That's a long career. He began in 2014. He made his Major League debut with the Phillies and then became a more crucial part of their bullpen starting in 2015. However, in the last couple of years, you have definitely seen those numbers begin to dwindle after a remarkable season in Houston at age 34 that saw him throw a 1.71 ERA across 71 appearances. In 2024, between the Chicago Cubs and the Houston Astros, he amassed a 4.1 ERA across 62 games. He had finished with a 10-5 record and 18 saves. And then this past year, in 2025, he pitched for the Braves, the Angels, and the Astros. He had a 6.75 ERA in 35 appearances. That's not outstanding. I guess it's a little bit more pitching depth for the Kansas City Royals, but they've got a pretty good bullpen to deal with that they've got at their disposal right now anyway, with obviously Carlos Estevez and Lucas Erceg at the top of that heap, but also love the additions of, first of all, Nick Mears, bringing him over from Milwaukee after he amassed a 5-3 record and a 3.49 ERA in 63 games a season ago. He has really good control numbers, 46 strikeouts to 13 walks, a .97 WAR a season ago. That's ridiculous numbers. 42 hits given up in just 56 2/3 innings. I love his addition to this Royals team. He's a right-handed arm out of the bullpen, which you could pair really well with what the Royals starting pitching staff has, with left-handed starters like Bubic and Cameron, a left-handed reliever in Lucas Erceg. So, Mears is a potential seventh inning guy on some nights. Erceg comes in the eighth, and then you go back to a right-handed arm and Estevez in the ninth. That's really interesting to me. Or even a Daniel Lynch, as another left-handed reliever. Reagans as a left-handed starting pitcher. And then, speaking of left-handed relief pitchers, I like the addition of Matt Strahm. Lest we forget, Matt Strahm, a former Kansas City Royal. How could we forget? Who is fresh off of the best 2-year stretch of his career, a 1.87 ERA in 2024 with the Phillies. Last year, a 2.74 ERA across 66 games pitched in both of those years. So 132 appearances. He had an ERA under 2.5. A whip of under 1. Really like the addition of him as well. So buy a whole lot into Neris as a viable option in this bullpen. Not when you have those four guys, possibly Schreiber back, James MacArthur potentially back with this team as well, Daniel Lynch obviously as well. I sort of take it with a grain of salt, not to mention the fact that the Royals did also acquire Alex Lang in a free agent move this offseason as well, the 30-year-old former Detroit Tigers reliever. I don't make much of it. The other story I have for you, and I don't know if it'll go anywhere, but it does, it could give you a little bit of pause if you're a Kansas City, and especially if you're a business owner in the area looking forward to the foot traffic that could come with the World Cup. The former president of FIFA, Sepp Blatter, has now backed up the call to, quote, stay away from the World Cup. The former president backed up a call that came from an attorney in Switzerland, Mark Peeth, saying that fans should consider staying away from World Cup matches that take place in the United States due to the ongoing turmoil in the country. That would be extremely unfortunate for the folks that have put time, effort, money, all of the above towards what they expected to be a tremendous amount of patrons, in this area specifically, but across the United States, because there's several of them. Last week there was reports that Great Britain and a couple of other major World Cup contenders were planning on headquartering here in Kansas City for the duration of the World Cup. I don't know. Things are topsy-turvy. Things are completely upside down as we reside right now. And that's all I'm going to say about that. For my producer, James Howell, I'm Logan Weber. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for getting involved in the text line as always. Hey, we've got K-State basketball tomorrow night, so no after hours. But I'll be back with you tomorrow night, or Wednesday night, I should say, from 6 to 9 p.m. Here it's After Hours, your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas